Well, Mossy, we're back again, this time with a slightly different concept, back for the Crabbie's changing room chat ahead of Friday night's game, and we're joined by the second most capped forward of all time, Scott Murray. Scotty, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Yeah, still in lockdown. This is week 5 for us, so getting to my limit. But managing to keep trucking here. The league's still going here, so I'm still in a job at the moment.
So where are you, big fella? Tell us, paint the scene.
I am with San Diego Legion down in San Diego, right next to the border, where Ron Burgundy lives. Just, I'd like to say enjoying the sun, but it's been raining for 5 days now. So normally it's quite nice weather down here.
Tell us about what you're doing now, big fella. You're coaching the forwards. Before we have a look at the game that's going to go on tonight, you're coaching the forwards. You enjoying it? Enjoying life? Yeah,
loving it. I mean, we were doing really well. We were 5-0 this year before the lockdown happened. It's pretty nice getting in at the ground level of something and actually getting involved in creating it. We're just putting gyms in. We're starting an academy. There's a lot of stuff going on over here in America that's will hopefully take us to that next level. But it's been brilliant. It's been awesome.
And then talking about tonight's game, we had Snowy on the podcast during the week, as I said, and he was sharing some of the memories that he remembered for the game. They were talking up the backs a lot, but I was doing my best to stick up for the fact that the backs couldn't have played so well if it wasn't for you boys up front. What's your memories of that game?
Well, I just remember, I think it was kind of like, it wasn't my first game, but it was near on it was like my third or something. Because the year before I was in the 18 the whole year. This year, so I was just coming into the team, and you've got guys like Doddy Weir, Tom Smith, all these freaking legends, and you're like, holy. But no, I thought the forwards did really well. I thought they were flying around. I remember, it's funny, when you phoned me to do this, my mum has been putting all the tapes onto DVDs for me and then sending them to me, just because we've got a lot of time on our hands. So I actually just watched the game about 2 weeks ago, and I'm just like, I just remember that, rucks aren't like that anymore. The rucks are still pretty tough nowadays, but like back in the day, you used to fly head first, like Superman, into the rucks.
We spoke about that with Glenn.
A couple of times doing that.
We spoke about that with Glenn and with Snowy, and launch rucking. And again, like you, when you were doing this, I've gone back and had a look at some of the highlights, some of the games, and it was one of your specialities, the launch ruck. And Bill McLaren actually comments on it at one point, flying off your feet, wiping, whatever was there just got hit. But I tell you what, it created quick ball, didn't it?
It did. It really did. And you were allowed to put your feet back on people then. That created a quick ball as well.
But the forwards were cracking, Scotty. The line in particular, again, having a look at the back at the game, I didn't realise at the time. I was actually playing for the 21s the night before. But looking back at the game, the momentum swung back in Scotland's favour down to the line, which is a lot down to you guys, you and Doddy and Grimesy came on quite early as well.
Yeah, Grimesy came on at half time, if I remember rightly. Grimesy was one of these second rows. He was just absolutely fearless. You watch him flying around as well. I mean, he's head first into everything. I thought, but for me, in the forwards, I thought Eric Peters was absolutely brilliant this game. Every time they put a kickoff long, he would just stick his head down and charge. And it just like the buzz it gives you when you see someone like that doing, sticking his head down and going for it. So, no, it was good. I think we actually we did drop a few balls, but we got a couple of driving mauls against them as well, which was the funny thing I find funny is like you watch the scrums, they're like in and over within 3 seconds, real quick. Just like smash, ball's gone, everyone's playing.
It's quite refreshing as well. I quite like the fact that when there's a mistake made, there's a lot of mistakes. I think when we all think back to games we played in and games we watched, we think there was no mistakes. There are hundreds of mistakes, but nobody dwelled on them. It wasn't replay after replay, the same mistake and critical analysis. It was just the ball was back in play and away you went. It's brilliant.
We talked to Snowy a wee bit more about the whole championship as well, and it was a funny finish because you guys had played in France on a Saturday, and then you had to wait. And the way Snowy described it, he fully expected English to go in and win that game on a Sunday. Can you remember watching that game? Did you watch that game together, and how did you celebrate afterwards?
Right, I'll be 100% honest. I had no idea we had a chance at winning. I had no idea. I don't even know how the competition worked. Like I say, it was like my first kind of proper year in it. So I'm sitting in a bar. There's most of the team is in there. Your usual suspects were there. With me, Marty, Leslie, basically were sitting at the bar just chatting away, having a couple of beers. And we were kind of half watching the game, but it was on in the background. And so then some random fella came up and tapped me on the back. It's like, you know, if he kicks this, you guys win the Five Nations. I was like, what? I was oblivious. I had no idea. And then he kicked it, and then all hell broke loose. And we were in. Remember, Greg at Townsend had a bar on the Grass Market there way back in the day.
Sports.
So it was a sports bar. Him and Sheppy, Brian Shepherd, and all these. They had a little bar down in the corner. So we,
Derek
Starkey as well. Starkey was there too. Yeah, and so we were all in there, and it was just mayhem.
And the night after
he kicked it.
And the night after, it would be the Monday night at Murrayfield after as well, the trophy presentation.
Big trophy presentation. Yeah, that was one of my lowest points because I had to fly straight back to Bedford after that. Right. I didn't get to go out with the boys. But right. I mean, that was incredible. Like the amount of people that turned up. Yeah. You know, you're walking around with a trophy. No, it was pretty special.
The championship as a whole, you know, the 99 win was fantastic. But it could have been better, couldn't it? It could have been a Grand Slam. What was that? A 3-point defeat at Twickenham? Was the only defeat?
Yeah, I think it was 24-21. Yeah, and it was you know, Kenny, God love him, missed a couple of kicks. I was saying to a few boys the other day, they're like, if we'd had you on the team, Mossy, we probably would have won the championship. We would have won the Grand Slam right there, but.
I don't know about that.
No, and listen, I never want to slag a kicker because I mean that the pressure you guys must feel kicking in front of 70,000 people is immense. So Big Al knows as well.
Big Al knows that he's a kicker.
Kicked a little bit for Alan Glenn's back in the day.
We did speak about the one. Kenny, I mean, he did wonderful. He actually took over the kicking in this Wales game you're going to watch later on and kicked well. Crucial time towards the end of the game. But the one we spoke about with Glenn was his poor soul. The one that we always go back to is his one in France, the conversion where, let's say he was having a look at the big screen whilst kicking it, doing a bit of video analysis, actually in real time, which it's never a great idea, was it?
No. Yeah, I think that's what he said afterwards. I missed it because I caught myself in the big screen. I'm like, you don't say that, buddy.
I know. So honest. Top man, so honest.
But that was a crazy game as well, the French game.
Brilliant.
Like it felt like we would receive a kickoff and we would score. Mm-hmm. Marty Leslie was a machine that day. That was a crazy, funny game in France. The crowd were going nuts at the French team. We just seemed to like score at will. Glenn Metcalf, that guy's got a sidestep, but he just doesn't slow down. Mm-hmm. He doesn't slow down when he sidesteps. You don't know how it's possible. But he was brilliant in that game as well. It was awesome. It was an awesome season. I've got lots of fond memories of it. Yeah.
Well, Scott, it's been an absolute pleasure to catch up with you. For anybody that's watching the game tonight, it's a special game of rugby. You played a massive part in it. It's great to hear that you're doing fantastically well. Good luck when you get that season back up and running, and best of luck to Lisa as well with the second child on the way.
Thanks very much. Cheers, fellas.
Thanks for that, Scott. Enjoy the game.